Good morning. This is Amraja, Assistant Professor in the Department of Management Studies, Bvcits Amlapuram. Today, I would like to tell about the concept of balance of payments. So, which is the concept from global financial management, which is also called as international financial management. Okay, so from this the global financial management, so one of the very important the topic, that is the balance of the payments. We should know the concept of balance of the payments, so which is also called as BOP in the abbreviated, in the shortcut form. The balance of payments also called as BOP. Okay, so balance of payments is a broader term and it includes the balance of trade. So balance of trade refers to the merchandise account of exports and imports the only. So what is the topic of this, the balance of payments? We are the analyze which is included exports and as well as the imports only. Okay, so from the one country to the another the country, from home the country to the host country. So what are the exports and as well as what are the imports done in a particular the period of time. All these the transactions are systematically recorded in the particular manner. So that is called as the balance of the payments. So the once we are observe the definition, the balance of payments is a systematic record of all economic transactions between the residents of the reporting country and residents of the foreign the countries during a given period of time. So what we explained about the balance of payments, okay, is a systematic record. So the systematic record in the sense, what are these transactions are held immediately recorded in the systematic manner. So all economic transactions. So here in the balance of payments, they consider economic transactions only. Economic the transactions, which means the business related transactions only they consider. That is the payments, receipts. Okay, business related. All the transactions here the systematically recorded between the resident of the reporting country and resident of the foreign the countries, the here host country and as well as the home the country they consider during a given period of time. So this period there may be the quarterly or half-yearly or the year. So the given period of time, all the transactions, all the economic transactions here systematically are recorded given the period of time. So that is the briefly about the definition of the balance of the payments. Then we are consider what are the nature of the balance of the payments. Okay, so the very first one is systematic record. So here what are the payments and as well as what are the receipts the systematically the recorded. Okay, so from the one country to another the country, what are the transactions are held, so immediately that is the systematically the recorded. And then a fixed period of time. So here the time period is there for the record of these the transactions where when all these the transactions are the consolidated is fixed period of time. So that is there may be 1 year, or else the countries they go for quarterly or half-yearly. Also the countries go for the consolidated. So what are the transactions are held in the particular the period. So that is based on the country. So it may be a go for quarterly or half-yearly or yearly. So then the comprehensiveness. So comprehensiveness in the sense here the country they go for all this here in the balance of the payments when they are consider the all the goods and as well as the services and as well as the capital they consider. So how the flow of the goods they consider, and as well as how the flow of the services from one country to another country which is considered, and then how the capital is the flow of capital also the considered from one country to another the country. So that is the comprehensiveness. Here three issues the majorly they considered in the balance of payments. So that is the comes under the comprehensiveness, that is the goods and as well as services in the capital they considered in the balance of the payments. Okay, and then a double entry system. So this double entry system, this is the word that we commonly used in the accounting the term double entry system. In the previous manner we are the only used a single entry system. So in single entry system there is no the accuracy to the accounts. So we are the comes a double entry the system. In the double entry system, so there is the debit and as well as the credit, the concepts are there, debit and the credit. So we know debit the aspects should be equals to the credit the aspects. Okay, so is a double entry system the all the transactions relating to the payments and as well as relating to the receipts the considered in the way of double entry system. Okay, so when we are followed this double entry system, it should be the equals debit and as well as the credit. So with which is the helpful to the balance of the payments, what the country is the doing the business and as well as in relating to the exports and as well as the imports. Okay, then we should the equalize, then self balanced. So in this when we go for the utilization of this double entry system, then there is a chance to the self balanced. So payments and as well as receipts we are go for the balanced. Is there any disequilibrium is there, then we are go for balanced there disequilibrium. So self balanced is there, so which means there is a low imports are there, then which means the country is in positive the manner. If in case we are based on the most of the cases high the imports, that is negative for the country. So that should be balanced. When we are systematically recorded, then there is a chance to balance that the payments and as well as receipts itself. Then adjustment of differences the same. So is there any differences are there in the payments and as well as receipts, there is go for adjustments. Is there high the payments are there, so here that is the systematically recorded. And then there is the country is take the go for precautions to adjust these differences. Okay, based on this the balance of the payments. And then in the last one, all items. So here all items in the sense the government and as well as non-government. Here in the balance of the payments, here from one country to another the country, rest of the world, the individuals and as well as the government and as well as non-government, all the business activities or economic activities they considered. Here all these the activities are they consider and as well as the countable. So here not only the government related the transactions are here listed in recorded in balance of payments is not right. So the government and as well as non-government and as well as individual, so whatever the from one country to another country, what are the economic transactions are done, so that is the systematically recorded. So that's why here they mention all items which is relating to the government the sector and as well as non-government sector and as well as the individuals, the whatever. So here the thing is the flow of the capital or the flow of goods and the flow of the services from the one country to another the country. So what are the imports and as well as what are the the exports done immediately, that is that comes under, and as well as that is the systematically recorded. So that is we are the briefly known as the balance of the payments. Okay, so here the balance of the payments, which is nothing but, okay, so all the exports and as well as the imports, the systematically recorded. Okay, systematically recorded from one country to another country from a given period of time. So that is the balance of payments. Okay, thank you.